Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show for my show, the Intrepid Radio Program. If you haven't been here before, we got about 4 minutes before we go live on air. It's just a little informal time to say hello, good evening. Leslie, welcome. Hey, thank you, Leslie. I sure appreciate that. Everybody look and see what Leslie did. You can do that too. That helps support this show, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Leslie. You know it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. And Barbie D, welcome to the show. Uncle Dave, welcome. Who else is in here? Matthew Sainsbury. Good to see you, brother. Let me get this thing rolling here. We turn that on. Now, if all goes well, this program is also supposed to... let's see, did that actually come on? Yeah, there it is. This program is also supposed to record the show, so I don't have to do that separately. And it should start automatically at 9:04. So we'll see how that works. So I hope everybody's doing well. Chad Sanders, good to see you, brother. Glad to have you in here tonight. And it's cold down here today. I got a mosquito bite. I have a mosquito bite right there. You know, we go right from winter to mosquito season. Oy, 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 oy. So everybody that's here, I hope you had a good day. And continue to have a good... There's another hair. I just lost another hair. They're going. It's like every 10 minutes. So I have a bunch of them. And yes, it's cold. Mosquitoes? Yeah, you live on the lake. So my hair. If it's not falling out, it's shitty. So we got about 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 10 seconds maybe before we go live on Odyssey Radio. So we're going to talk about the meditations tonight. Got an announcement I'm going to make about something, a big event that happened today. And we'll talk about that for a minute. And maybe a couple of other things. We'll see what comes up as we go. And Uncle Dave, you done painting yet? That thing looks fantastic, magnificent. That mural he's been painting and the set work he is doing, the stagecraft. Matthew Finn, good to see you, brother. Master Finn is in the house. Second in command, master and commander of the decks. So, glad you're here. All that build up for that. I think, I'm kind of like ready to roll. I've got this 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes once we launch to get going. And so, well, here we are. So I'm all set to go. 29 seconds. It's going to start recording on my program. New recording program. So hopefully when I record, I have a guest like when I had Ruben on the other night. My recording software didn't record his end. So it's blank through 15 minutes of the show if you compile it all up. So here we go. The recording is going to start any second. At 9:04 right now, the recording's starting. I'm going to have to edit this out until the beginning of the show. So let me get over here, get lined up with the opener. We're going to go dark, but don't go anywhere. You're going to see the beginning of the show start any second now. So stand by, sit tight.
Are you looking for a really awesome and amazing graphic designer? How about an illustrator or a photographer? This is Rainey Roberts, and I wanted to tell you how you can get my designer, illustrator husband, Scotty Roberts, to work for you on your project. Do you have an awesome self-published book but no cover, or even worse, a cover that really sucks? Do you need a kick-ass logo for your company or some f***ing awesome graphic designs for your ads or website? Then get in touch with my husband for the best f***ing awesome kick-ass design and illustration. He knows his stuff, and he's been at this for more years than I've been alive. Go to ScottAllenRoberts.com. That's Scott with 2 T's, ALANROBERTS.com to take a look at his online portfolio of work, or call 651-468-8115. Now go out and kick some ass with some kick-ass graphic design.
Hire my dad, so he can take me to Disneyland.
You're listening to the Intrepid Radio Program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent Talk.
Well, happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome to the program. I'm Scotty Roberts, your host of this, my show, the Intrepid Radio Program. You can hear this every day over on Odyssey Radio. That's ODYSY radio.com. There it is. I thought I had it. I thought I had it licked tonight. I always have a mental block on saying that from the years that we said Odyssey Radio Network. So it's odysseysradio.com. And you can watch the simulcast in video over on Facebook at facebook.com/Odyssey Radio. Or come on over to my YouTube channel where I tend to camp out most of the time because the chat room is there. So you can come over to youtube.com/Scotty Roberts. And while you're there, you can like the broadcast, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can hit the little join button below the video window and become a member of my channel. 3 different ways you can do it. On the button, find out how. And I want to welcome everybody who's over there in the chat room tonight. All the fellow Intrepids, welcome to the program. Thank you for taking your time to be here every day of the week, except Saturday. Sometimes I'm even tempted, I got to tell you, to be honest, tempted on Saturday. Something comes up and I want to talk about it. I think, I'll save it till Sunday, or I'll save it till the next show. So almost every day of the week. So welcome to everyone. Sarah Nichols, Michelle Kenham-Free, Leslie Holker, Matthew Sainsbury, Matt Finn, Barbie D, Uncle Dave, everybody else that's over there. I said hello to everybody mostly before we went on air. So welcome again. Tonight is like every other night. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to jump into the topic at hand, which is Marcus Aurelius again. I hope you are digging this stuff about Marcus Aurelius as much as I am, because we're covering his book written almost 2,000 years ago, Meditations. And it wasn't a book. He didn't write it from start to finish. It's more like, as we covered last night, it's like his journals, his stuff. It's not as intimately detailed as Dear Diary, but it's all of his thoughts, his things in philosophy that he wanted to keep reaffirming to himself as the emperor, how to be a better emperor, how to be a better man, a better person. And women, don't feel left out. When we say man, he's talking about the state of humanity, of humankind. And so I'm finding this absolutely fascinating, going through his work. And we'll get to that in a few minutes here. But right now, I want to tell you about something that there's a couple of stories I've told you over the last couple of years about a good friend of mine who had been accused of rape. And we all knew he was being falsely accused. And this all came out just before all the Kavanaugh hearings started. Remember Kavanaugh being sitting before the Senate for his confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court. And that's when the Me Too movement, or as Rainey likes to call it, the Pound Me Too movement, when that movement really got its rise with all the celebrities and people behind it. Race Hobbs! Race Hobbs! I love my brother, Race Hobbs! Everybody say hello to Race Hobbs. He just hopped into the chat room. Race Hobbs, if you remember, former owner of KGRA Radio, where Intrepid Radio got its start back in 2013, I want to say, with John Ward and me. And so, Race, always heartwarming and great to see you, my brother. He is now running the UnX Radio Network, and they do a lot of UFO, paranormal, and big time. I'm telling you, this is not another fly-by-night internet radio station out there. And yes, I'm promoting another radio station. I don't care. I love Race Hobbs. I love everything Race Hobbs does. He's my brother. So it's good to see you, brother. 2013, he says in the chat room. That's when John Ward and I started this program, the Intrepid Radio Program. And so welcome to the show tonight. And so I'm telling a little story, everybody. That was my little deviation to say welcome to my brother Race. Good to see you. I don't know how long you can stay around, but I'm glad you're here. And I told you all a story about a good friend of mine that had been accused of rape, and who I knew, and most everybody who knows him knew, was falsely accused of rape. Now you go, why would somebody come out of the woodwork? Why would a young woman come out of the woodwork and falsely accuse someone of raping them? And that was the big question we all had, is what the hell is going on? Because I knew my friend Carr. I've known him for 25 years. I've known his wife for just a little longer, as a matter of fact. I used to be madly in love with his wife. This is pre-Rainey, so I'm okay talking about that memory. And so I've known him for that long. I've never known him to be somebody who would force himself on somebody else, or I don't even get into the details. Just use your imagination. You know people in your life that you say, hey, I know that person. That person could never do something like that. Well, I was pretty bound by a lot of details that I had found out. And I don't know how much I can talk about now, other than to tell you my friend's name is Carr Hagerman. He was the rat catcher, was the character he played out at the Renaissance Festival for decades. He's just a couple of years older than I am. And he grew up out there. His mother was a permanent fixture out there as well. And so he grew up out there. I met him in the mid to late 90s, something like that. And we became pretty good friends out there. And his character was very high profile out there. He was a street character. He didn't say a lot of words, but he played a grubby medieval rat catcher. And he would do antics on the street that would attract crowds, and he would interact with them. Whenever Carr went out there to perform on the street at the festival, he would be surrounded by hundreds of people, and he'd do just weird stuff. Sometimes weird stuff. It was all entertaining. It kept everybody entertained. And so he was high profile out there. He was also, he became the artistic director of the fair. He was the head of the cast and the artistic direction and so on. He worked for the company out there, so to speak. And so he became very well known. He was also a prolific, I'm talking him in the past tense, not that he's gone. I'm just talking about his past life when I knew him. Prolific author. An author he wrote business books. He wrote books about philosophy and business philosophy and so on, management and things like that. He was an intellectual. He was written up in the newspapers, the local newspapers. I remember a picture of him sitting in his library, and they're interviewing him. It's pictures in the paper. And Carr Hagerman, an intellectual among us. And so he was very well respected. He was a voiceover talent. I still today, I'll hear ads. He hasn't done any voiceovers in a long time. I'll still hear ads that use some of his old voiceovers. He did some voiceovers for the Intrepid Radio Program when John Ward and I were together. He did a bunch of ins and outs for our show. Recorded such things as what was one of the great ones that he did? He said something like it was about how had the professor nailed Mary Ann and had offspring on the island, they most certainly would have been Scotty Roberts and John Ward. Things like that. And then he did our show opener and closer and things like that. It's a lot like riding a two-humped camel, he said. Scotty Roberts and John Ward, the Intrepid Radio Program. And so he was very good at what he did there. He was a photographer. He did a lot of pet photographies out of his studios. He did a lot of photography of individuals, people I knew. He did nudes as well, very tasteful, classic nudes. He did a lot of that kind of work. And so he had all these things he was doing that were going for him when somebody came out of the woodwork and accused him of rape about 4 years ago. And of course, we knew it wasn't true, but it was in that environment of, first of all, you've got the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. It's an environment that breeds separation from reality. And what I mean by that, we used to use that that actual phrase when we were out there for the 7 weeks a year that we would do the festival. Suspension of reality. When visitors came to the site, customers, you suspended reality for them. You created an environment. You wanted them to feel they're transported back to 1500s England. There's a king, a queen, a royal court. We used to have at the time 150 to 200 people that were street entertainers out there that dressed in everything from peasants to nobility. You have all the shops and everybody's dressed up and all the buildings and all of that. And that are all done in that style. And so what we did was street theater. Now, Carr had taken some of what he learned out there and did out there and performed. He wrote a book called Top Performer. And he's for business and how you could apply things that we learned on the street doing acting and apply it to business. Anyway, all of this is his background. And he was a dear friend. He was a good friend. He was traveled all over the world for different companies that would fly him over out of the country even to speak to their company and to put on performances and things like that. And so Carr became pretty, to put it safely and mildly, upper middle class and very upper middle class. So he was good. Ryan Gale says the Renfest is and was always very sexual. Lots of naughty stuff after hours too. And I was getting to that, Ryan. Because a lot of people go, oh, you all had orgies out there, didn't you? Well, probably some people did. But with this suspension of reality came, for a lot of the actors who would stay out there, that suspension of reality passed over into their off hours time. And so, as you can imagine, you look at all the affairs and sexual things that go on amongst Hollywood actors or stage actors and so on. All of that was the same at the Renaissance Festival. And that's just the way it was. After Rainey and I met in 2005, well, after we got together in 2005, and we became a thing, she told me that I was no longer allowed to go to a festival. Oh, you're done on a festival. I said, no, why? And she said, it's only for sex, drugs, and alcohol. She said, well, more sex and alcohol. And I said, that's more than that. I enjoyed it, and we had our thing back and forth, but I quit. Debauch, said Matt Finn. A little bit. I wouldn't call it debauch, although there were some people that would. there were times I got drunk out there after hours. Say it isn't so. Uncle Dave remembers walking me around one night on the festival grounds while the partying's going on, and I was absolutely hammered. And he's trying to talk me down off a ledge about some emotional thing. And so 12 hours of continuous improvisation, says Uncle Dave. That's what it was doing the street theater out there. You knew what you were doing. You kind of had a backstory for your character that a lot of people don't get when they're walking out there. You don't give your backstory. Well, see, I was born in Leicester, and I was born to, the servants of blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Nobody cares about that unless it's pertinent to a show or a bit you're doing. So being out on the street at Renaissance Festival is exactly what Uncle Dave just said, that it's 12 hours of nonstop improvisation. You're out doing, your bit, you know what you're going to do. Sometimes you have a bit that you follow. Sometimes it's just you've got your bits together and it's all improv because you're interacting with audience all the time. All this to say, my friend, and Brianna says in the chat room, and fall asleep in the fields. Yeah, I did that too. That's another story. But my friend Carr capitalized on all of this and used it to write business books and did very well. And he took people from the festival that he brought into this and took them on tours around the country to do these presentations at companies. Top Performer, I think it was called. And it was for business and business management and so on. And so anyway, all of this to say, this is my friend who was accused of something he didn't do. Now, out there, I think, we started to learn very late in the game. You had to be very careful out there because as the times started changing and things weren't as loose, you couldn't be as loose about things. You couldn't be as, even with the audience that was out there, you had to be very careful. And I think it became very obvious that claims could be made against you. And I think this is what happened to my friend Carr. And without getting into the details of all of that, let's just put it this way. There were some conniving people behind the scenes with what happened to my friend that pushed an agenda. The agenda was being pushed because one or two of them had a vendetta against him because, guess what? He's the creative director of the show. And so just fill in the blanks all you want there. And it's the land of make-believe, says Leslie Holker. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So this all came out about Carr, and this divided people out there. Just about the way you see people divided over politics in our government and elections today, this is the way the festival became. Most of your younger set coming up were just like the younger set that are coming up in voters and politics. And so make the comparison in your mind. So if you were not far liberal, progressive, leftist out at the festival, there was something wrong with you. And the more the younger set kept coming in, a person with a grudge, shocking, says Matt Finn. Yeah, somebody had a grudge. And I know that whole situation too. That dates back 11, 12 years itself with this person. And that was the person that was behind spearheading all of this against my friend. And again, I have to be careful. I'm not going to slander anybody or libel anybody. I don't know all the details of everything, but I do know enough to know what was going on. So, for 4 years now, the bottom line is my friend Carr has lived a life that was pretty much destroyed. Everything that he did before, the writing, the public speaking, the voiceovers, the photography, everything came to a screeching halt. Why? Because somebody made an accusation against him. An unproven accusation, even if it had been true. There were no facts and evidence. The man had not been to trial. But it wasn't true. I got to put that in there and keep reemphasizing that. Dave and I have both been in positions where we could have very easily been in his place, but we didn't have the positions of power out there, and power such as it was for running that show. So he was targeted, definitely. So this all started with the accusation. He lost his publishing contracts. He lost because it went into the papers right away. They came and arrested him. And of course, they arrested him on a Friday afternoon. Why would they arrest you on a Friday afternoon? So the jail system can keep you until Monday morning. They make more money off of you that way. It's another topic altogether. So he spends the weekend in jail. He's booked his mugshot, the same papers that have beautiful pictures of him, color photography of him in his library at his home, and wrote these glorious articles about an intellectual just a few years earlier. His authorship and his status as an intellectual in the Twin Cities. The same papers running mugshots of him in the paper, not the pictures of him in his library, saying, there was this news that came out over the weekend. No, his mugshot. And right away, the paper latched onto the sensational story. Renaissance Festival creative director arrested for... And they went with that. And all of that put together ended up with Carr losing his publishing contracts. His photography died. His voiceover contracts died. And he spent everything he had defending himself. So I will put it this way, is that this thing was supposed to go to trial, I think, a little over a year ago. The young woman involved, there's still certain things I'm not sure I can say in public, so I don't. Leslie, you know some of this. You and I had a little conversation this afternoon. There are some things that happened that probably gave this young woman motivation to say, I got what I need out of this. I'm not doing anything else. She wanted to call off. I don't know that for a fact. All I know is that she said, COVID, I can't travel up court. So here, court gets put off. Well, they dismissed it with prejudice at the time. She was not going to pick it up again, but the prosecutor picked it back up months later. So Carr's back on the hot seat. And finally, all that to say, I don't have all the facts, so I'm not going to give any more than that. I mean, I know stuff, but I don't have all the right details, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to misspeak about anybody. I will say this. Carr finally, his trial started last Monday, a week ago yesterday. First day was spent choosing the jury. Second day, the trial started in earnest. Yesterday, Monday, so a week later, he said, I feel very good. He says, I think good things are happening. And I had a couple of conversations with him, and he was a little more optimistic than that. But so apparently the jury went out today. The jury, by the way, was comprised 75% women, 25% men. Jury went out. They came back in 15 minutes with a unanimous decision in favor of Carr. Not guilty. So here's my friend, after all this time, this 4 years, losing stuff along the way, losing reputation along the way, he is vindicated. He is not found to be innocent. He told me the other day that when the judge, when they picked the jury out, the judge said to the jury, that man over there who's on trial, one thing I'm going to advise you, the judge said this, that man is innocent. He walked in the door innocent, and he is innocent unless it is proven to you, the jury, by evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is guilty. You have to view him as innocent. And so that was the instructions that were given to them at the beginning of the trial. Well, they came back, and he's innocent. He was innocent walking in. He maintained innocence walking out. And a jury of his peers unanimously voted so. It's over for him. Now, he could probably sue her for defamation. I don't know how these things work. And if he told me that he was, I couldn't tell you anyway. It's not my business to put my nose into that. But I will tell you this. Let's just put it this way. My friend Carr is an author. We'll leave it at that. Now, I say all this because I'm elated. And so many of you'll see a post up on my Facebook. There's a picture. You know what? Bloody hell. I'm just going to show it to you. I want you to see who my friend is after all the time that I've talked about him. Here's, oops, not video file. I pushed the wrong button. I'm going to share my screen with you. Share screen. Boom and boom. Okay, you're going to see my browser window come up there. I'm going to go over to my Facebook page. There's my Facebook page. I'm going to scroll down here because I want you to meet Carr. This is my friend Carr right here. Face to face. There he is. That is my friend Carr Hagerman. That is his lovely wife, whom I've always loved, Marion. And she stood by his side through this whole thing. This is my friend, not guilty after 4 horrendous years. My friend Carr Hagerman remains innocent, affirmed by a jury of his peers. It's about time justice caught up to what we all knew already. Now, I put in there, I love you both. I love both you and Marion, brother. Now, the reason I'm giving this so much airtime, not that my show is a national show or even a locally widespread show in my area, but for all the press that this case was given over the last 4 years that seemed to condemn him from the start, I want to do as much as I can to sing from the rooftops the fact that he is innocent. He was innocent going in. He's innocent coming out. The thing he was accused of doing was a job done on him by people who do not like him. And yes, you can be a good person and have haters out there. And I will say the person who was the drive behind all of this, I know this person very, very well. One of them was also a good friend of Carr's and mine. Dave knows all these people. But these people had vendettas. And there were reasons they did. And it was basically wrapped around, well, you give other people preference over blah, 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 blah. By the way, here's a picture on the side. That's Carr and me back about 22 years ago, sitting in the trailer of a friend of ours with his wife took this picture, as a matter of fact. This little tiny trailer. She's across sitting on the other seat and a couple of other women, a girl I was dating at the time and somebody else. And they took this picture of Carr and me 22 years ago. So boom, there he is. So folks, I want to reemphasize for this reason, because there was so much press given against him, so much stupid talk from stupid people out there about how guilty he was. I got myself latched into conversations with some of these people that would call me a racist and a bigot and a Nazi and all of those things. And, oh, I support rapists, they would tell me. I go, whatever. Sorry, thank you for playing. But these stupid people, whenever I got into a conversation, I said, well, what evidence do you have that this is so? Well, a woman doesn't make a charge like that unless it's real. You have to believe the woman because she's speaking. I said, so now you're telling me, because no offense, women, ladies, everybody out there listening, just because a woman's mouth is moving doesn't mean she's telling the truth. Same goes for guys. So the whole you have to believe a woman just because she said so, I think is fallacious in its concept. So all of this, let's clear it all out, because I have a lot of it's the personality I have. I get very angry about people who do these kinds of things to people. It angers me. I'm still angered. I'm not triggered by it, but I am angered by it. It angers me. And it angered me for the sake of my friend. When I found out about this and people were damning his name left and right in my old circles, I got right up and I made public posts about, how dare you damn him before you know any facts or have any facts in hand. Well, what facts do you have? I said, I have the fact that I have known this man for, at the time, 20 plus years. That would be like somebody telling me my dear friend, Uncle Dave, raped somebody. I'd say, that is a bunch of bullshit. Because that's not who Dave Potter is what I would say. And I said the same thing about my friend Carr. And I stood up for him and I defended him. Every time it came up, I'm like, I'm the opposite of, what was Bogart's line in Casablanca? He says, I stick my neck out for no one. Well, I don't believe in that. For his character, that was fine. It fit the storyline. For me, I don't put up with that bull. And if I see people in my circles trying to gossip about him, I would always stand up for him and I would speak my mind. And that's why I have haters at the festival now, a place that I spent a big chunk of my life, as Dave can attest to. You come out against the going political mindset, the agenda of people out there that has nothing to do with the show, but has to do with the people that are in the show. You see people that have agendas and people that have narratives that you need to meet and match, or you will become one of the hated. And I bristle. That makes me bristle. Matt Finn says, sad thing is, this victory for him just cements the idea the false accusers were served an injustice. Yeah, we already said it today. I talked to him for a minute today. He says, can you hear it already? What a travesty of justice. This is all you're going to hear now from those people. So, hey, my beautiful wife. Those, you look beautiful. You were out at meetings. You're feeling beautiful. There she is. Hi, baby.
I get to serve beer on Saturday night.
Woohoo!
7 to 10.
Bitch, bring me a beer.
Anybody that's local, come out to Pea Soup Days and support the local Cub Scouts.
Pea Soup Days in
Boy
Somerset,
Scouts.
Wisconsin. And get your beer
Yeah.
from my little bar wench here.
And your pea soup from the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come and buy beer from you.
Yeah, you better.
So, hell yeah.
And I got the shift that ends at 10 so I can watch the fireworks.
All right.
Fireworks show Saturday.
That's right.
After dark.
After dark.
Come on down.
So my twin daughters are coming up for the weekend too. They've got some other things going on, so they're going to stay here with us for a couple of days. And they're going to go to Pea Soup Days and Rainy Beer Wench Days. Do you know, when I first met Rainy at the festival, that's what she did. She was a beer wench at one of the taverns.
I can't squat anymore.
Well,
Let's
here,
see.
that's why I tilted it up.
Oh, I was going to say,
so you
I
could
don't wanna
stand.
I'll just stand here.
Okay, you can
Hunched
stand
over.
there, hunched over. So, so good. You're going to serve beer. I'll go drink some.
All right.
Since Abby and Bryn are going to be here,
It's probably going to be like
I could
something
probably drink.
pea colored. So
Pea colored beer's always pea colored. Duh.
See-through
Yellow,
pea.
see-through.
see-through pea.
So it's good she came in, because I get worked up about this stuff.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. It angers me. So if I didn't say anger enough. So, well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Right. Now I got to go shirt shopping because I get to keep the tips I make.
Oh, she needs to buy some new shirts so she can get good tips. There you go.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what works and what doesn't.
And I'm not exactly sure, but I think that whatever I make for that hour, those 3 hours,
You get to keep?
Flynn gets to keep a percentage of it for scouts, and then I get to keep the tips.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, how do they pay for the beer? Oh, you keep the tips. The tips. Okay.
People pay for the beer.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do you think, would you tip her if she served you a beer? I would.
Right. Yes, you would.
Yes, I would. So, just the tip, said Matt Finn.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
tap.
So,
Herbs. Jeebus.
we're guys.
I know.
What do you expect?
Not much, honestly.
Leslie would tip you too, see?
All right.
So,
Donate the tip to the scouts. I think the hours that I work gets donated to my scout, and then the tips I get to keep.
there you go.
But pretty much in
That's
ways,
Race Hobbs.
it's all gonna go towards Flynn anyways. So
That's Race is in my show.
yeah,
tonight.
hi Race. Nice to see
So-
you. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you go then.
Yeah, I got scout stuff. to
Don't you,
go
do you
do.
you ever do that? You're talking to people on the phone and they go, well, I'll let you go now. It's like, well, no, I don't have to be anywhere. I can talk for another hour. So, all right.
'Kay.
Go do your thing.
Have fun.
I love you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right, guys. Okay, Matt Finn says, I'm not a biologist. I'm a mechanic, not a biologist. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. All right, guys. I'm going to shift gears dramatically. I'm going to do no segue. Well, technically, this is a segue. I want to get off that topic. I've said what I'm going to say about it. I could say a lot more. I just want to once again put out in public, congratulations to my friend. I love you. I love Marion, your wife, and I am so happy this turned out this way. Let's move on because I got other things, and I think you will enjoy this. We started last week talking about the emperor, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And Marcus Aurelius, many people know him if you've studied history a little bit. But I think a lot of people became very familiar with the fact that he was a guy at all when they watched the movie Gladiator, which came out in 2000. Richard Harris playing Emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius. And Marcus Aurelius he was a philosopher king, a lot of writing, and they compiled all of his writing, which was kind of like, as we mentioned last night, his personal, not diaries, not as intimate as diaries, but they were his journals about him. They say that the Meditations, his book, The Meditations, it's all the compilation of all these things, is really could be entitled, or it was entitled, a word that meant to himself, meaning that this was a book that he wrote to himself. And it wasn't a book with a narrative and chapter breakdowns and so on. It was a book of his sayings, of philosophical sayings, things he was teaching himself. And he kept going back with different topics back to the same things and would reaffirm those to himself. So this is, you never saw Gladiator, Barbie D? You got to see it. Well worth watching. I watched that movie. It made me cry. It made me cheer. Everything about that movie. And at the end, I said, that is the classic heroic displayed in that movie. And so it was a fantastic movie. Bloody at times, yes, as Matt Finn, but terrific. And so I want to get back into, we kind of left off just going through some of Marcus Aurelius's meditations. And the first section, they've got these all divided up, and they say that they're not sure how these were originally compiled centuries ago, but they believe it's fairly chronological, that he wrote about these things and they just kept writing because he comes to conclusions and things like that later on. And hi, I'm doing radio. What are you doing? Say hi quick.
Hi.
She dyed her hair today. So there you go. It's blue. It's blue.
But
Say nice blue hair.
it Kendall expound.
There you go. I got to let you go now. I love you. I'll be done in a while. So that's Ellery. Bye. See ya. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. And this is what we're going to jump back into right now and look at some more of his in the last 12 minutes of the show that we have here. So let's look at some more of these. We left off. This first section was debts and lessons. And if you remember from what we read last night, these are the people that he was indebted to in life. People who taught him things, the lessons he learned. And he would just list each person by saying, my grandfather Varus was the first one. And he said, character and self-control. That's what he learned from him. And he goes on, he talks about his father from his memories. He talks about his mother, his great-grandfather. He talks about his first teacher. He talks about Dionysus. He talks about Rusticus. He talks about Apollonius. And by the way, Rusticus, that was a really good one. I liked what he had to say. Listen to this again. This is what he said about Rusticus, which was number 7. He said, the recognition that I needed to train and discipline my character, not to be sidetracked by my interest in rhetoric, not to write treatises on abstract questions, or deliver moralizing little sermons, or compose imaginary descriptions of the simpler life, or the man who lives only for others, to steer clear of oratory, poetry, and belles lettres, which is letters of beauty, not to dress up just to stroll around my house, or things like that, to write straightforward letters, and to behave, and he says, like the one he sent my mother from Sinusa, and to behave in a conciliatory way when people who have angered or annoyed us want to make up. I always used to say, it's hard for me to stay angry at people if I see them make the effort to come this way. I used to say, if you give me an inch, I'll give you the rest of the mile. So he says, be conciliatory to those who've angered you, to read attentively, not to be satisfied with just getting the gist of it, and not to fall for every smooth talker, and for introducing me to Epictetus's lectures and loaning me his own copy. And then he went into Apollonius. And this is where I left off last. And I saw some guys, their eyebrows went up. They go, ooh, Sextus. No, it's not what you think. It's a name. So Apollonius said, independence, and what he learned from him, independence, unvarying reliability, to pay attention to nothing, no matter how fleetingly, except the logos, and to be the same in all circumstances, intense pain, the loss of a child, chronic illness, and to see clearly from his example that a man can show both strength and flexibility, his patience in teaching, and to have been someone who clearly viewed his expertise and ability as a teacher as the humblest of virtues, and to have learned how to accept favors from friends without losing your self-respect or appearing ungrateful. You know, there was a time where I was a single dad with Abby and Bryn, and Sam was just like a year or two old. And I just flat run out of money. And I was trying to support my family, who I'd just gotten custody of. And I went to my pastor friend at the church, and we were talking. I stopped by for something, and he said, how you doing? I said, well, we're kind of tight financially right now, but we're doing okay. And, you know, you don't want to let on all the way. And he said, how are you for groceries? I said, we're a little tight. And he said, come over here. And he took me to the church's kitchen. The what do you call it? The why did halfway house come into my mind? Not that. A food share, food shelf at the church. And he said, take whatever you need. I said, no. I said, John, that's for people in need. I'm not going to do that. And he says, I want you to take this. And he took out a bag. He just started bagging everything up. He cleaned the whole food shelf out and gave it to us. He says, we got people who will restock that by tomorrow. I said, John, I can't take this. He said to me, Scotty, he says, sometimes you have to show the grace of God by accepting the gift. Not just giving it, accepting it. And that stuck with me. Chokes me up a little bit because of what he had to say to me. So this is what he said, Marcus Aurelius said about Apollonius. And he says, he's learned how to accept favors from friends without losing your self-respect or appearing ungrateful. Now we move on to Sextus. Here we are at 9:50 with 6 minutes of this show left, and we're just getting to the new material. I promise you, tomorrow night, unless something big and strange comes up, we'll jump right into this in the first 10 minutes. But let's hit a couple of these. He says of Sextus, kindness. This is what he learned from him. An example of fatherly authority in the home, what it means to live as nature requires. Gravity without airs. To show intuitive sympathy for his friends, intolerance to amateurs and sloppy thinkers. His ability to get along with everyone. Sharing his company was the highest of compliments, and the opportunity and honor for those around him to investigate and analyze with understanding and logic the principles we ought to live by. Not to display anger or other emotions, to be free of passion and yet full of love. Free of passion yet full of love. To praise without bombast. To display expertise without pretension. This is what Marcus gleaned from him. Number 10 was the literary critic Alexander. What he learned from him, not to be constantly correcting people, and in particular, not to jump on them whenever they make an error or usage of a grammatical mistake or mispronounce something, but just answer their question or add another example or debate the issue itself, not their phrasing of it, or make some other contribution to the discussion and insert the right expression unobtrusively. So that's what he learned from him. He learned from a critic not to be critical. Number 11 was Fronto. I'd like to have that name, Fronto or Fronto. Fronto. What's your name? Fronto. So, Fronto, to recognize the malice, cunning, and hypocrisy that power produces. Peculiar ruthlessness often shown by people from, quote-unquote, good families. This is what he learned from Fronto. He learned not to be what apparently Fronto was, malicious and cunning, a hypocrite. The hypocrisy that comes from power and the peculiar ruthlessness often shown by people from good families. Number 12, Alexander the Platonist. Not to be constantly telling people or writing them that I'm too busy unless I really am. Similarly, not to be always ducking my responsibilities to the people around me because of pressing business elsewhere. So in other words, don't ghost people and tell them, oh, I'm just too busy. Oh, I would love to talk, but I have pressing matters over there. This is what he learned from him. Not to be that way. Catullus, or Catullus. He says, I learned not to shrug off a friend's resentment, even unjustified resentment, but try to put things right. To show your teachers ungrudging respect. The Domitius and Anthenodotus story he adds in there, which I don't have no idea what that is. He's making reference to it. And your children, unfeigned love. Show them all these things. Shrug off a friend's resentments. Do you have any haters out there? I got haters. I don't know why. I'm a lovable, cuddly, amazing guy. Ask my wife. Right? No. Wait, what was that? I think I'm a decent guy, and I strive to be a decent guy. Have I wronged people? Sure I have. Not deliberately. So do you have people that resent you for no reason? Try to put things right. Number 14, my brother Severus, he says. We got 2 minutes left. To love my family, truth, and justice. It was through him that I encountered Thracia, Helvitus, Cato, Dion, Brutus, and conceived of a society of equal laws governed by equality of status and of speech and of rulers who respect the liberty of their subjects above all else. And from him as well to be steady and consistent in valuing philosophy, and to help others and be eager to share, not to be a pessimist and never to doubt your friend's affection for you. And that when people incurred his disapproval, they always knew it. And that his friends never had to speculate about his attitude to anything. It was always clear. Damn, and we've got just 1 minute left of this show. And there's several more of these to go in his Debts and Lessons. I promise you we'll hit this a little earlier tomorrow night. I will try to not rabbit trail myself for the first 45 minutes of the show tomorrow night. And so, folks, I want to thank you all for being here. Stick around. If you're here, stay in the chat room on the YouTube channel, because when we go off air over on the radio station, Odyssey Radio, we're going to stick around live here. So I'm going to go, we're going to go out, and we'll be right back. So I want you all to sit tight, and we'll be right back. Live long and prosper.
You're listening to the Intrepid Radio Program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent Talk.
All right, folks, we're back. And now, this is the after show. This is the afterglow. We like to call it, you called it, you named it, the Captain's Cabin. The Captain's Cabin, arr. Arr. That didn't feel throaty enough. The Captain's Cabin. My opinion isn't law. It's more like the code, and the code is more like guidelines for life. So, here, I'm going to unplug my, here, you get a nice of my eyeballs and brow as I lean forward to get, boom, and unplug the, well, guess what? I didn't even plug it in. I just had my sound all the way down. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got sound up now. Now I got to let us off. I did. I turned us off of the show, or of the radio station. And I do believe that we recorded tonight's show properly for the archives on the radio station. So there you go. How's everybody tonight? Sean Stroik, good to see you. Thank you, by the way. Thunder is booming. I wish I had a thundering voice. I wish I had a Darth Vader voice and James Earl Jones voice. Mufasa. Simba. So I'm too tenor to be a good booming. I'd be Darth Vader, Luke, search yourself. I am your father. It just doesn't sound right, does it? I wish I had that booming. I can only do it when I have a cold. David Castle, welcome to the show. And we're over, but we're in the Captain's Cabin. So welcome. I'm glad you made it in. And yes, Matthew Sainsbury, my eyeball. Oh, my eyeball. So, Matt Finn, the tech is always questionable. It's the nature of this ship. Isn't that the truth? Oh, never minds all them creaks and cracks and moans and groans. It's just the ship. So, let's see. Smoke more, says Iowa X. Yeah, that'll do it. I smoke very little these days, but I smoke enough. I'll tell you that. I still have the habit, but it's not the habit I used to have. Let's see. I'm just looking back to see what people had to say. R, says Sean Stroik. R. I see. I feel I have no timbre to my voice tonight. I can't even do R and sound like a pirate tonight. Leslie Holker is still here. You're not leaving yet, are you? Hey, we're all glad to hear Carr was vindicated. Me too. Hi.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
Nothing.
There's Rowan. She colored her hair today. Look at
Red.
that. Oh, red. Why didn't you let him just guess? What color do you think she colored her hair today?
Black.
So, yeah. So there is Rowan. She put some color in her. She was very happy with it. I was actually very happy. I thought it looked really nice when she was done.
It's lighter up here because these are the blonde pieces of my hair.
Yeah. The blonde turned really red, pinkish red, and the dark turned
I also turned my neck different colors too.
well, it's the dye on your skin. That's what that is. That's what that be. So, how do you like mine? I bleached mine white today. You like that?
I
See?
think that's all
Even the
natural
neck.
old person look.
And look, I got the roots are even white.
That's just old people. Sam's mad at me
Why is Sam mad at you?
because I have a boyfriend.
Brother Sam?
Yeah,
Oh, why? When did he tell you that?
today.
Oh, you talked to
'Cause-
Sam today? Cool.
No,
Doesn't have a boyfriend.
I do. Dad said
She
I
does
could
not
have a
have a
boyfriend in
boyfriend.
5th grade. I'll show you a
You're not
picture
in
of him.
fifth grade yet.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're just getting out of 4th grade.
That's dumb if he said fifth grade.
Dad said
I
could
didn't
ha-
say 5th
You
grade.
said you had your first girlfriend in 5th grade, so I said, "Can I have my?" First
I didn't
boyfriend?
say I had my
And you
first
said, "I don't
girlfriend. I said
care."
I kissed a girl for the first time in 5th grade.
Oh, then I kissed a guy in 1st grade.
Okay, so then.
Then there, you're way ahead of me
You're not
already.
dating until you're 2010.
No,
Leslie, hey, he's younger than me, Rowan.
there's no such thing as 2010. Yes, there is. It's 2010.
2010? When? 2010 was the
2010
year.
means 30. She has to be
2010.
30.
She has to be 30.
No, I refuse. Objection.
You refuse to be 30?
Objection. Your order.
Objection, your order? It's objection, your honor.
Oh, that thing.
Rowan, no dating till you're 30, says Uncle Dave. There it is.
That's
Too late. You
hearsay.
should have said that.
Here, say objection.
You should have said that last year, Uncle Dave.
Yeah. She's like, what are you doing? I'm making a smoothie. No hitting. I don't care what.
I object to my
Sandy
daddy.
Squirrel
He's too
or SpongeBob. The only one I do is
Oh.
Mr. Krabs. Oh,
He's
there you
down,
go.
He's down here.
He's down there. There he is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs. So, girls were kissing me in the 4th grade, says Sean Stroik. Girls, stop, please. I'm only in 4th grade. It does nothing for me. It does not arouse me. It does nothing because I'm only in 4th grade and
Well,
I'm
I'm
only
in fifth.
9.
I'm in 5th.
Yes, you are. Going into 5th.
I am in 5th.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I got to go over to the middle school 3 times.
That's amazing.
Everyone other than me and
You'll be in 2nd grade.
me and Channing.
I am in 2nd grade.
Me
I
and
am.
Channing.
In
Got-
2nd grade.
Me and Channing got to go over to the middle school 3 times, and everyone else only got to go once.
Dave had to one up Sean Stroik. Yeah, I had him kissing me in kindergarten. Him? Who kissed you in kindergarten? Or did you get your pronouns wrong, Dave?
I kissed a boy in the summer.
No, you didn't. You're too ugly to get a man.
That's enough of that.
Well, just tell him the truth.
Be glad you're in the 5th grade. No, the first girl I got a kiss from, or that I kissed, was, and I will say this, she instigated.
She tasted like Cheetos.
No, I didn't even know what Cheetos were when I was in the 5th grade.
I'm taller than a 4th grader.
No,
I'm-
you're not.
I'm
I'm
taller
a 4th
than a
grader.
4th grader.
I'm taller
Bye,
than
guys.
you.
All right.
I'm taller
See ya. Go do other things. Go away, kid. You bother me.
You bother
Who was that supposed to be? Remember that line? Cheetos, LOL. Yeah, there it is, Michelle. Ooh, you smell like Cheetos. I told you, I'm not going to retell it, but Michelle, are you thinking of the Rainey's Dream I told you about? I told the show about, if that's what you're referring to with the Cheetos. First boy I kissed was Andy in the 2nd grade. He was shy and ran, but eventually I caught him, said Leslie. Make me think of Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. What was the boy's name in that she would always beat up? You come back here. You grab him, you throw him on the ground, you sit on him. And that's how you got your first romantic kiss. I remember the first time I knew I was in love with her when I saw the moon shining off the highly polished barrel of her father's shotgun. So, what else we got? Are you guys done with school now? They are, Uncle Dave. They were done last Friday, was their last day of school for the year. Well, June 2nd, whatever day that was. Thursday or Friday? Thursday of last week. So, yeah, they've been home every day, all day, since last Thursday.
2023.
Thank you for that bit of pertinent information. And now, back to you.
Did you just sass me?
It's now. We have just learned, folks. Wait. Newsflash. What year is it?
2023.
Oh. Newsflash. Thank you. Now back to Scotty.
Did you just sass me?
Did I sass you? No.
Did
I
you
can't
ju-
sass you. I'm too old to sass you.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. You sure practice a lot, though. Let's see. Time for a chore list, says Matt Finn. There's Matt Finn, a man after my own heart.
Did you just sass me?
Do you know what Matt Finn said? It's time for a chore chart.
Yeah, did you just sass me?
That's enough. Okay.
Sassy.
You said it 5 times too
Did
many.
you just sass me?
Shh. Be done.
Sassy.
Be done.
Sassy.
Let's see. Oh, you still have 2 weeks of school where you are? The mid-June? Really? Wow. 2022.5. Yeah. So, yeah, chore charts, Matt Finn. Rainey just printed up some really good chore charts a couple of weeks ago. So, I am of this belief that I should be what your chore is. Now you don't need to hear from me from the rest of the summer on chores, right? You got it. You know what's supposed to be done every day by what time. And your privileges hinge on your performance. There it is. That's all it is. It's a long summer. Yep, till the 20th. Wow, that's pretty long for the school year. It's a long summer, says Matt Finn. So, how many of you have kids at home right now from school? So, you have a whole crew to go out roughing beans all summer. There it is, IOX. What's roughing beans? Roughing beans. Leslie Holker says, Scotty, unless those chore charts include a washboard and some laundry, they're not good enough. Truth. Do you know when I was a kid, my mom still had the dryer that I grew up with, the wash machine I grew up with. The first few years of my school life was one of those tub washers, open topped, with the 2 rollers in the handle, the squeegee. So you'd wash your clothes in the big tub, and then you'd rinse them and you'd put them into the squeegee between the 2 rollers, and you'd roll the handle and it would squeegee, and then you pick it up on the other side and run it through again to squeegee all the water out, and they'd go out on the line. There was no dryer. The dryer was the air outside, or in the winter you hung them in the basement. So we actually had a washer like that, and it sat in our basement for a few years. even after we finally got an electric washer. One of those new electrical things. So, cutting weeds out of the fields. Oh, yeah. We had so many sage plants when Abby and Bryn were little. Used to send them out on the ranch. I'd send them out to the fields to gather up sage at the right time when it was just before it was budding, or as it was budding. And I told them I'd pay you $0.25 for a bundle, and we'd make these little bundles of sage. I think I told you this recently when we were talking about saging a house. And we'd tie them all together with string, and they could get hundreds of bundles of those things because we had 40 acres full of sage plants, sage bush. And it was great. Not all sage is the same, of course, but this stuff smelled great. You could use it for saging a house. You could throw it on the fire. It was fantastic. So they go out all afternoon gathering up sage bundles in bags, pillowcases. So it was pretty cool. And my mama didn't have a dryer until I was about 10, says Leslie. She had the wringer washer and feed them through to me for the rinse. And every time she said, watch your fingers. Yep, that's exactly what we had. So, and that was, we're talking early 1960s. So up until about the time I have to say, I remember we had that in one particular house. So we had to have that wash machine when I entered kindergarten for sure, and probably past that. So Barbie D says, wait 15 minutes, it'll just stop, Sean. Oh, pouring outside. Yeah. Pouring rain doesn't last long. Drizzling rain could last forever. So anyway, so what's anybody got? Anybody got anything special to talk about tonight? Otherwise, we probably won't stick at this for very long tonight. We got to do another marathon Friday night with Dave Potter. We'll see. Probably not this Friday, though, because my daughters will be in town. Maybe get them to come on the show with me on Friday for a little bit and talk about what they do. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So,
Oh, you're not going to be able to.
not going to be able to what?
Oh, never mind. That's Saturday. I was thinking Saturday.
Oh, buy beer from
They
you?
don't arrive. Their plane doesn't arrive until 8:30.
On Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Friday? Oh, okay. Oh, they don't even get to the airport till 8:30 on Friday. So, maybe they won't make it.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
For the after show.
Maybe for the after show. That's true. They'll be here by 10 on Friday, unless they meet up with friends or something. I don't know.
Oh, you can't.
Nope, can't see it. Bye. Let's see. So, because frankly, I'm tapped for the day. I got nothing else. I don't know what else. My energy is okay, level. I'm not like I'm tired or anything. I don't have anything else to talk about. I could sink back into the meditations, but I don't want to do that off air because I want everybody to be able to hear these. So, Barbie D remembers those ringer machines. My grandmother used them. Story at Scotty Roberts, says Sean. You want me to tell a story? Should I tell you all a story? I could tell you a story. I could read you a story. What do we got? What's sitting over here? What have I got? I could read you. I know, kiddies. Let's read Caesar's Gallic Wars. We could read some of that.
Ellie, go get your little old lady who swallowed a book.
Who swallowed a book?
Upstairs?
Yeah, hurry, run, fast. Dad's going to read it right now.
Oh, okay. Mom wants me to read something else. I'll find something.
Something fun. I got something fun.
Hold on. Rainy's got something fun.
Bring the whole box, Ellie.
All right. She's got a box of books. Sounds enthralling, says Sean Strake. Wait till you hear it. Get The Sword and the Clay, folks. If you don't have a copy, get one. You'll enjoy it. I swear. What do you got here?
From here. Oh, this is your yearbook.
That's your yearbook. You got, this is Ellie's
Oh, no.
box of new books.
No, this isn't a
Just
book.
Wait Till Heaven Comes.
That wasn't one of the books I got.
Let's see. $1 Million Pranks. That's Mom's book. What do you need a book on pranks for?
That's Rowan.
Oh, we got Buster. That's a long book. We got There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. And then we've got There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Bat. Imagine that. She swallowed a bat. Colors. We could all learn colors. Lena's Garden. That's got to be Lena right there, I would bet. It's about cats. What else we got in here? You got a lot of books. Let's see what else you got. Mom ordered these all for her. There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Rose. There was an old lady who swallowed some books. This must be a series of books, I'm guessing. Oh, this might be the winner for tonight. There was an old lady who swallowed a cactus.
I don't know why. She swallowed a cactus. She must be.
Maybe she was out of practice. There was an old lady who swallowed
Frog.
a frog. She must be a hog. She swallowed a frog and then slept like a dog. There was an old lady who swallowed some leaves.
Dumb.
You don't like that? That's not a catchy title?
No.
That's all that's in here. All right. I think we're going to go with There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a
Bat.
Cactus. You going to read it with us? Ma.
Cactus.
I'm
No.
definitely
Here, look
not
at, there's
in
the old lady
candy.
who swallowed a cactus. Galactus rhymes with cactus, kind of. These are kind of fun drawings in here. Let's see. There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Cactus by Lucille Calandro. Illustrated by Jared Lee.
Don't say
And it looks like Calandro. Maybe she pronounces it that way. Maybe she has a husband or a father who said, "My name is Miguel Calandro." All right. There was an old lady who swallowed a cactus. I don't know why she swallowed a cactus, but it took lots of practice. There you go. See? She's swallowing a cactus.
She must be a whore.
You getting sleepy yet, folks? She must be a what?
A whore.
A whore?
Ellery.
Where did you learn that?
Rowan.
Rowan.
No, she didn't. She called me a whore. No, I
That's enough of that language. None of that. Do you hear me?
I didn't even
Do you hear me, Ro? You don't need to be using that word.
No, she called me and I told Mom. That's where she learned it.
All right. There was an old lady who swallowed some sand from out of her hand. She swallowed that sand. That's over here. She swallowed the sand to plant the cactus. I don't know why she swallowed the cactus, but it took lots of practice. See, that's pretty cool illustrations, I think. They're fun for being whimsical and very cartoony. Good night, Matthew. I'm going to bed. See, the nighttime story worked on you, Matthew. You're already sleepy. There was an old lady who swallowed a snake. What a mistake to swallow a snake. Rainey, have you ever swallowed a snake?
I
She didn't walk into that one. Can't make me. She swallowed the snake to hide in the sand. She swallowed the sand to plant the cactus. I don't know why she swallowed the cactus, but it took lots of practice. So she swallowed the snake to hide in the sand.
Snakes are cute.
Y'all loving this?
Snakes are cute.
How you doing over there, Sean Stroik? Is it getting to you? There was an old lady who swallowed a coyote. She felt a bit floaty when she swallowed the coyote. There she is swallowing the coyote. She swallowed the coyote to track the snake. She swallowed the snake to hide in the sand. She swallowed the sand to plant the cactus. I don't know why she swallowed the cactus, but it took lots of practice. There's the coyote and the snake and the cactus. There was an old lady who swallowed suntan lotion. It caused a commotion when she swallowed the lotion. She swallowed the lotion to cover the coyote. Okay, I'm not following him yet. Why she's covering the coyote with suntan lotion. So she swallowed the lotion to cover the coyote. She swallowed the coyote to track the snake. She swallowed the snake to hide in the sand. She swallowed the sand to plant the cactus. I don't know why she swallowed the cactus, but it took lots of practice. There's everybody. They're getting piled up in there, huh? Look at the coyote she swallowed to track the snake. Where'd he go? Look at the look on that face. He's found the snake, I'd say. Let's see. But wait, there's more. There was an old lady who swallowed a canteen. Everyone had seen her swallow the canteen. Boom, she's swallowing a canteen. Look at all the lookers on. She swallowed the canteen to rinse off the lotion. She swallowed the lotion to cover the coyote. See? She's rinsing off the lotion on the coyote. She swallowed the coyote to track the snake. She swallowed the snake to hide in the sand. Boom. I like that picture. The coyote and the snake. She swallowed the sand to plant the cactus. But I don't know why she swallowed the cactus, but it took lots of practice. There's that. Could you imagine swallowing a cactus? Prickly. Moving on. There was an old lady who swallowed. It was the last of her haul, swallowing a parasol. Y'all know what a parasol is? Rowan, what's a parasol? It's an umbrella. Why do we send you to school? Yes? Sure. The scorching hot sun beating down was the basis. I don't know how that rhymed, but I'm sure we'll get there. Look at all those critters over there. The scorching hot sun was the basis.
Still reading my cactus one.
For her to create a perfect desert oasis. Oh, there's the whole thing. She swallowed all these things to barf up an oasis. Look at that. She's got the water from the canteen. She's got the sun lotion. She's got the coyote to do something to scare away the snake. She's got the cactus for the oasis.
That's how
Bloody,
those
bloody,
books always
bloody.
went, and she barfs out them to make
And that's
that
it.
perfect thing.
There's the last picture. They're all hanging out. Midnight at the Oasis.
That's how all of the books end up at.
There you go. I'm not reading any more of those. That was a silly book. There you go. All right. So there you go, Sean Stroik. Yeah, very unexpected ending. Well, that was unexpected. See? Even a kid's book can bring you surprises that you don't realize are there. Oh, she swallowed all that shit to make an oasis. Who's a big fat liar? Rowan, Mom just said you're a big fat liar. So there you go, folks. Straight from my household to yours. TYV. Oh, thank you very much, Scotty. I'm not into all these abbreviations. You're lucky I could figure that one out. TYVM. Tyvum? I think she did it the hard way. Yeah, the hard way, getting an oasis put together. Ain't that the truth? So, something happened today and all my swords fell off the wall. I wasn't here. They all fell off the wall, and it knocked my Bigfoot over and put a crack in it. It didn't come apart, but it cracked it.
Ellie opened up the bathroom door, which that wall is not even connected to your wall, and it just scared the living shit out of me.
So you heard that probably from Rainey. Little girl walked out of the bathroom. All my swords fell down. Rowan's room is on the other side, and they said they were sitting on the bed not doing anything and heard the crash. So there it is. So my swords all came down. I had to mount them all back up there. That was really weird. And Midnight at the Oasis. I don't even know what the melody is.
Right on my notes. My notes are my notes for a reason. You can
So
find your own notebook and make your own notes.
the big cat just wandered that way, and he's walking kind of tenderly, like, oh. We always knew he was an old man. I think he's got arthritis in his hips or something. That's why he sits and does nothing. He's a nothing cat. He asks me to feed him every morning. Pavlovian, you know. The light comes on, sees me in the room. Wow. Then he tries. It's funny, for as gimpy as he is all the time, man, he can move fast when he thinks he's getting food. Pew! He'll cut me off at the pass. He always tries to guide he's like a guide cat. You're walking this way, and he's like, oh, hey, let me walk in front of you so I can guide you to where I need you to be to give me food. Better check for ghosts, says Iowa X. They're never doing anything. Isn't that the truth, Matt Finn? He does nothing. So I look at him. He meows at me, in the morning. And meow. Feed me. Meow. That's Rainey's got it down. He eats and shits in a box and sleeps in the laundry. That's all the cat does.
When you don't clean his box and he's not happy with it, he shits in your clothes.
Oh, yeah. And if you've waited a day too long to clean his box out, he'll go find somebody's pile of something in their bedroom to shit on. It's a cat for you. Oh, hey, all the food you give me for free? Here. There, how's that? Oh, wait. Look what I just gave you on your living room carpet. I couldn't do it on the kitchen floor that's tiled or the dining room floor that's a wood floor. I had to go throw up on your pillow or your sofa or your carpet. Cats are worthless. Have a great night, everyone, says Matt Finn. See you, Master Finn, tomorrow night. Whatever he's doing, it's working because you're still feeding and picking up after him. Yeah, I guess so. He's got us duped, doesn't he? So, better hope it's not the same head chopping off Egyptian ghost. Head chopping off Egyptian ghost. So those are all hyphenated words. I hope not. Head chopping off Egyptian ghost. I don't know which one that is. Head chopping off. Is that something I said? That's all I got, folks. I'm pretty much done. Unless you have something to add, I think we're going to pull up stakes for the night. Uncle Dave says, no response from you Does that mean you don't want me to come out on Friday? I didn't see you ask it, Uncle Dave. You could come out on Friday. I think that'd be fun. Come on out. So, va-va-voom, Mama.
Girls' flight doesn't come in until 8:30.
Yeah, their flight doesn't even land until 8:30, Dave. Then they're going to go pick up their rental car and head out here. So, but yeah, come on out. I think it'd be fun. You're cooking. Ha! You were the one with your hand up the last. Dave's cooking. So, are the girls renting a car? Do they need to be picked up at the airport? No, they're renting a car, Dave. So, thank you, Barbie D.
Uncle Dave, you better cook something good.
Like ice cream.
Such a demanding little thing.
Yeah, cook ice cream, Uncle
Cook
Dave.
some ice cream for her, Uncle Dave. Hi, Mama.
Hi.
Okay, time for me to go.
Does my ass look tanner than yesterday?
Does your ass look tanner than yesterday? Let's see. Let me see it again. It looks
Like a butt.
white, and to quote Pepe Le Pew, so firm, so round, so fully packed.
Is that a dingleberry on your ass?
My wife is walking around the house bottomless. Oh, she had to turn on the light. All the better for me. She's just right there on the other side of my computer, looking for something in the pile of laundry.
Yeah. I want
Pants, no doubt.
my boxers.
Her boxers. Oh my.
I like men's
Oh my.
boxers with a V, so my pants don't go up my
Keep your
ass
pants
crack.
on.
Yeah, I like that too. Hoist the anchor, says Matt Finn, and unfurl the sails. Olson, says Uncle Dave. Yeah, that's about it.
Keep your pants on.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. Thanks for giving me your time. Thanks for coming in and sticking around. And we'll be back tomorrow night, same time. So you know what? Live long and prosper.